Back to Daybreak, the show that brings you to think about as we begin the day. My name is Sam Gituku, and we're now back with some two guests who I'm going to introduce shortly. But before we do that, let's cross over to the roads and check the state of traffic, according to our traffic commandant, Kimani Mbugua. Kimani, good morning once again, and what can you tell us now?
Good morning, Sam. This is how things are looking on Bagathi Way. Remember that conversation we had earlier about how early traffic ends depending on whether it's the last month of the week or the first month of the week? Yes, this is how things are looking on Bagathi Way. And it seems like the delay on Bagathi is ending quite early. It's exactly 7:44 in the morning. Around this time on normal days of the month, it's usually very busy. This is that hill getting past high-rise Riara University. In fact, we are standing on the bridge at Riara University. If you know that, if you use this road frequently, you know that delays start somewhere down past Riara University going down towards the Timor roundabout, where you can see the delays are starting way past this point, going towards the city mortuary roundabout. This is how things are looking. So yeah, it seems like it's true that what the conversation we are having, that sometimes on this particular week of the month, traffic is not that intense, and when it is intense, it doesn't last that long. So you might have expected a bit of heavy traffic at this particular place at around 6:30 towards 7:30, but then now you can see the delays have ended early. So if you're using Langata Road, you might want to use Bagathi Way to avoid the traffic on Mombasa Road, because that might be a bit heavier than this. But that is how things are looking, Sam, from Bagathi Way.
Okay, all right. It's a pretty easy morning there. And so now let's get back to the studio to talk to Dr. George Jenga, the Dean, School of Business at Strathmore. Karibu sana.
Good morning. Thank you very much for this morning show.
Great. And Victor Botto,
yes,
the Chief Executive Officer at Bovik. Karibu sana. And thanks for making time for us. And we're here to talk about what, for some people, may appear like a complicated topic: e-commerce. Yes. E-commerce. Let me begin with you. How do you define e-commerce for the mwananchi to understand?
Biashara ya mitambo. You want to have a market, instead of having the market in Korogocho or in Gekoba, you have it online kwa mitambo. Sasa tunazungumza ni kama tuko kwa simu, lakini hata tuzungumzi, we just write to one another. Right. You want a suit, I send you a suit. You ask, how does the suit look like? I put a picture online for you to see. So somehow you have to trust what I am telling you is right. But okay, you also know some of that as well. You know, when we deal with M-Pesa. See, we do it online. Yes. And when we send money to our parents, we do it online. We don't have to travel. We don't have to have the cash with our hands. All we have to do is to transfer money. Ultimately, kuna mtu ataenda kuchukua hiyo pesa mahali au ingie kwa bank. Yes. So generally, you're paid on the e-commerce platforms through a banking system where if I pay you online for the product, you see it on your mobile, but it goes straight to your bank.
Right.
Yes.
And Victor, it's not the first time that we are hearing this time. It's been ongoing for a couple of years now. But there's still, what do I call it, an obsession with the traditional way of trading in this country. Like, apart from in the urban areas, majority of Kenyans would be comfortable when they visit a store, they see what they are buying and they buy it. So, when you look at the journey of e-commerce, how do you see the progress made so far?
E-commerce is actually making big strides. We see platforms like OLX, which came a decade ago, and you're seeing the traction in the market is that more and more people actually going into e-commerce. And why is this? It's because of the convenience. I want to sit at the office and get my iPad delivered. I want to sit at the office and get my dress delivered or my suit. So we're actually seeing the growth in e-commerce. From the statistics, we are seeing that CAK was saying that e-commerce right now is about a 6 billion market and is actually rapidly growing. In fact, probably in the next 3 years, it will be at 100 billion. And this growth is majorly driven by the fact that people in this urban setting now want convenience.
Right.
People don't want to go to brick and mortar stores to touch and feel items because they don't have the time. And more so, if you look at the reach of e-commerce, if you look at the e-commerce platforms even out there like Amazon, they almost give you like an omnipresence kind of situation where you are available at all counties at the same time.
Right.
And this kind of market opens up opportunities for businesses and for growth, such that if I can access 20 million subscribers out there, actually the internet users right now for Safaricom and the other networks, about 20 million. So I can access this market instantly, right now, just through my website, through my Facebook channels, through my WhatsApp, through all the digital channels that are out there. And what this does is that actually drives prices down. Is that actually I'm selling at wholesale, because at my brick and mortar store, I'll sell 20 units. On e-commerce, I can sell 400 units the same day. Yeah.
So when you look at the market, Dr. Jenga,
Yes.
Which are these products that are dominating the market, specifically Kenyan e-commerce platforms?
So money is the first product that is dominating the market. The second thing, vitu za rejareja, retail products. So for instance, people like OLX, Jumia, you can buy anything online. And they can bring it right to your doorstep, including food. So that's crazy. And then we have a new and upcoming incredible source of all sorts of services. For instance, did you know we have an Uber for transportation of goods through trucks? If you go to Sendi is a company, online company, where you can book a truck to transport your goods from Mombasa to Nairobi, from Nairobi to Kampala. And they have all the listings of the prices there. You can see the truck there, you can know the driver, you can get all the details of the driver. All you have to do is to book your truck and send your goods across. Say, for instance, you want to sell things to Dar es Salaam.
Right.
But then now we have other bigger issues. What about agricultural products? If you want right now to sell or to buy products in, what do you call it, Nairobi City Market, everything is online. You can know the prices of kunde, you can know the prices of kamiki, you can know the prices of maize. Right now, e-commerce will not only enable you to do that, but you can also sell to Sudan, Egypt. You can buy sugar in Egypt online. You can buy anything, any electronic gadget you want online. Yeah, so really everything is online right now. The only thing that is not online ni ile kuonana na watu na kusalimiana na kukula kanyama choma. That is the only thing that is not online. But if you want it sent to your house, it will come.
You can make bookings and then you deliver yourself there.
Oh, yes.
So when you look at this, we live in a country that we're facing immense challenges, especially for the young people that have gone to school and still looking for opportunities to make a livelihood. And there's a challenge. So when you look at e-commerce as a platform, what potential does it offer the young people that they can plug in?
That's a great question. E-commerce offers an immense market for the young people. Number one is that if you look at the cost of building an e-commerce platform, it's almost close to zero. You can just simply open a Facebook account, open a Twitter account, open an Instagram account, without even opening a website. And instantly, I can start marketing a product which I don't even have. I can simply go to supplier A. He has a phone. It's 10,000 shillings. I add my markup of 1,000, call it 11,000, put it on Twitter, put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram. My followers, somebody says that he wants this product, and instantly I sell without even holding any stock.
And how much of that is happening?
Actually, that is happening a lot. In fact, if you see, if you just generally on social media, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or let me just call Facebook and Instagram, you'll see probably after every 10 updates, you see somebody selling something. Yeah, you'll see somebody selling a mobile phone, somebody selling clothes, somebody selling shoes. Basically, somebody selling most of these fast-moving consumer products. Yeah. So that is happening a lot, and this opens up a very big opportunity. So youth do not need to look to the government. Wakisema serikali isaidie.
Okay.
Youth can actually get out there, use e-commerce as a way of growing an income.
We still live in a country where we don't trust each other so much, with reason. So how do you mitigate the impact of suspicion when you're trading with e-commerce? Yourself as a person trading, and as a, let's assume, him buying from you?
We can say that's a bit of a complex question. But between you and me, we didn't take too long to accept sending money on M-Pesa. I mean, you just tell me you're going to pay me for the repair you've done for my car, and I pay you. I mean, the guys you have, you know, these telephone farmers, when they have their farm managers, the farm manager can photocopy they can take a photograph of the plant and how it is, and send it via WhatsApp and chat and get the money through M-Pesa, and all is done. And now we have Pesa Link, so you can even do bank to bank. I remember two young people, very young, a young girl 20 years old and a young boy 20 years old, Diana and Kip, called them that. Second years, they decided that their parents needed gifts for birthdays, and guess what they did? They started a company. If you know a company called Popping, where any gift you want to send to anyone, you don't even need to speak, you just send it to them. Why do you trust them? Because the first time you do it, it goes, and the second time you do it, it goes, then finally you realize, wait a minute, if I want to send to Michael this thing, and I have to go all the way, and I have to go to the poster and all that, no, you try, and finally you find that it is safe. Now, the government has to come in. So, for instance, how are we going to collect safe data so that when you're looking at Michael or Vicky online, you are sure these guys are true?
Right.
So, and you know how they have done it. So you can say, is this guy on Facebook? Is he on LinkedIn? Where is he? You can check their presence and you can more or less know. You'll still be cheated. Some Kenyans are very good, and people across the world are very good. But in general, you can trust the internet because it has adequate data to prove the guy talking to you online is good. But you also have to have your eye on. Don't just start a conversation without knowing who you're dealing with.
Right.
All right. Now, in future, there is a complex thing called blockchain. Blockchain will collect your tax information. It will collect your asset information, your house, your dressing, where you go to shop, your watch, where do you buy your shop, which school did you go to, your bank, your M-Pesa details. So all of them will be put in one account called Michael, if you're called Michael. So that when I am going to speak to you online, I can get a red or a blue, that this guy is true or false. Are we together? Blockchain enables you not even to trust the guy you are talking to. The internet will have collected all your data online, and they will know you can actually pay this loan. You can actually pay at this amount of period of time. These are the types of things you do. This is tax, you're safe on your tax. So there are very many things like blockchain systems that will help people get to trust, even without talking to the other. We wouldn't need to talk to one another. All we will do is write on the computer, enter it, and suddenly you can sell anything, you can buy anything, you can make any agreement online. And by the way, if you go to the US right now, do you know that as soon as you land, within 1 week, they have adequate information and they'll be offering you loans the way, is it Fuliza? Fuliza.
Yes,
Fuliza has come up. Fuliza, why does Fuliza give money for free for 8 hours? Although most people don't pay 8 hours, though they say it's free. If you don't pay for 8 hours, you get
penalty.
A penalty. Yes. But how do they manage to give you? I mean, they constantly send me, no, we can give you 6,000, we can give you 20,000. That means I'm a broke guy, basically.
Indeed.
So you can trust.
Okay. All right. So there's a conference coming up in a few weeks' time, and as you respond to that, I want to also to understand the extent of e-commerce in government, especially when you're talking about tendering processes and procurement processes that are being undertaken by the government.
Yeah. So we are seeing the government is actually shifting to a lot of e-payment and a lot of e-tendering. And that's why you have even, of course, let me not mention the system, but of course there's a system there which is having a lot of issues, and guys are saying that people's passwords are being used for making payments. But you're seeing the shift in government, yeah? So actually e-tendering is a way where the government can get competitive bidding, competitive tendering at the best prices, which is actually not influenced by people as has been the case, where some prices are inflated because people are influencing. So our government needs to look at e-commerce and look at the opportunities that the digital space offers, because the digital space offers even better pricing for government. In fact, lower cost of operations for government. I will not say that people are going to be fired, but you can deploy them in other sectors, because actually the digital platforms enable you to work at lower costs.
Okay.
Yeah, and over and above that, that's why we're having the e-commerce conference. which is going to be happening between 14th and 15th at Strathmore. And the main purpose of the e-commerce conference is to bring the players in this space together. So it's to bring government, it's to bring financiers, logistics companies, SMEs, any players in this market, and come together and discuss what are the challenges that are facing this sector. What are the opportunities? Because the opportunities are immense, but of course, anywhere where there are opportunities, there are also difficulties. Yeah, and see how can we grow Kenya to be the next beam of light for the African continent. Now, right now, Kenya is rated number 7 in Africa, and we need to. I mean, we are number 1 on M-Pesa. Why not be number 1 on e-commerce? Because you're seeing Amazon, what is doing out there, $200 billion annually. That's crazy money, and that's money that actually can be made by Kenyans out here. We don't even need to look at Kenya as the market. Africa is our playground. In fact, the whole world is our playground. These Masai market things, those things can go to the world, and we can make money out of them. So the conference is to bring all these players on one table, and let's discuss about the policy frameworks around e-commerce. As he has talked about trust, that's the biggest issue in e-commerce. How do you trust that I'll deliver what you ordered for? And if you have a policy framework, more people are going to trust e-commerce, and e-commerce is going to pick.
Okay.
Yes.
Dr. Jenga, as we conclude, I want you to say something about the conference, but at the same time, we have several malls in different cities or towns in the country, and also in Nairobi. Every day you see a mall coming up, several stalls coming up. So how do they ensure that they do not run out of business because they have to pay for space rent, and at the same time the market, as you say, is shifting towards e-commerce?
Well, it's not shifting towards e-commerce. This I can assure you thoroughly. Most Kenyans still believe in touching. Lazima nione hiyo nyama, lazima nione hiyo nguo, lazima nione hiyo cabbage. You know, we don't have standardized product qualities. And so people still have to go to Gikomba market, otherwise you can be cheated very seriously. Therefore, we need to build a culture. So we are going to e-commerce, but I don't want to think about those problems. Those problems we will solve. That is normal. If you have a supermarket out there that is 17,000 square kilometers, in a football pitch, I'm a basketball pitch, and you can have that market online, and all you have to do is to have a warehouse where you keep your goods, and that to be motorbikes. So a guy buys online, and you take a motorbike, and a motorbike delivers is right there at home. Most of the things you can do them like that. The other thing is that there is no need of buying so much supplies from I don't know which factory here and which factory there. You can just have people selling things inside your supermarket. Are we together? Right. So for instance, if I open a space and I sell the space very well, you can come in. So the conference though is a little bit wider than that. We are thinking of integrating Africa. So why aren't you buying things from Sudan? Why is Sudan buying things from Europe? Why not from Kenya down here? Why is Nigeria buying tomatoes from France and I don't know where, when you can fly them with Kenya Airways there from here at Nyahururu? Okay, why not? We have discovered that 11% only of the trade Africa does with the world is between African countries. Only 11. 90% unafanya na Amerikani, na wa China, na wa India, na Europe. How? When you have it here in Uganda, but you want to go and buy it from the US. When you have it here in Dubai, you want to go, I don't know where. Sorry, here, down here. So the conference is to discuss how do we start trusting one another? How do we solve the tax issues? If you earn money from a guy in Sudan, how does the government of Kenya tax you? And how does the government of Sudan tax you? We have to agree on those things. Then we have to put that thing I call blockchain. That is, you have to have centers of data that have data for all these guys who are doing business online. Okay. So that people know who are they talking to and can they trust them. So this thing of the e-commerce conference that was started by the United Nations here 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago is something that we have to continue talking about because it will solve most of Africa problems. Okay. Before we couldn't access Nigerian markets or South African markets or Botswana or Angola. Now we can with online services. Okay. Yes. And all right. So thank you so much for your time. I don't know whether you have anything to add about the conference.
Just to add on the conference, probably on the Twitter handle, people can follow the conference at the Ecommerce, KE. And please join the conversation online so that you can be able to be part of this e-commerce movement, because this is the time for e-commerce. E-commerce is ripe, it's growing at a rapid pace, and I will actually advise the youth, the people who are crying out there that there's no employment, this is the space they need to play in.
There are people making a lot of money.
There are people making billions of money online in the e-commerce space.
While they're sitting at home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, 90,000 shillings a month.
Yes.
Great.
And just that, as he mentioned, probably about the malls, they need to change their business model, because e-commerce is really picking, but of course e-commerce will not totally replace everything. There are things, I mean, you're a mechanic, you just have to go to you cannot buy
unless you connect online, you still have to take your car to the garage. All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. Dr. George Jenga, the Dean of School of Business at Strathmore, and Victor Botto, the Chief Executive Officer at Bovic. Thank you for making time for us, and wish you well with the conference.
Thank you.
On 14th and 15th of March?
14th, 15th at Strathmore.
14th and 15th, Strathmore Business School.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we take a short break.